More Public Schools now offers online registration and enrollment for the upcoming school year. Families that have students that currently attend More Public Schools will need to complete the annual review process. This process involves a review of their information that is saved in our student information system called Infinite Campus. This video will demonstrate how that process works and the steps you'll go through as you complete the annual review. To utilize the online annual registration and enrollment, parents and guardians must have a valid email address and an Infinite Campus Parent Portal account. If you don't currently have a Parent Portal account, you can get assistance from your home school or by emailing portal@moreschools.com. If you have forgotten your username or password, click on the appropriate links. You should receive an email with instructions. Once you get logged into your Parent Portal account, you are ready to begin your online registration process. Once you are logged in, you're going to see the menu options on the left. Select the option for More. Now you need to select the online registration link. Here you will have two options. If you have a student who is currently attending More Public Schools and will be returning next year, you can select the existing student registration button. If you have a student who is currently attending More Public Schools but will not be returning next year, however, you still need to add a new student, you will select the New Student Registration button. Even if you had selected the existing student registration button on this page, you still have the option to select the New Student button later in the process to add additional students to your household. Let's move forward with the annual review of an existing student. Click on Start to begin the registration. Check the student's name and grade for the upcoming registration year, and then click Begin Registration. You will immediately be prompted to type in your first and last name to authenticate that you are the person, parent, or guardian that is authorized to use this account. It is recommended that you gather all information and required documents prior to beginning this application. All documents submitted in the online process need to be submitted in a PDF file format. As you begin the application process, please make sure you read the instructions carefully. Be careful of spelling, capitalization, and punctuation, and make sure you're entering in your dates and your phone numbers correctly. Also, please take note of your application number located in the top right corner in case you need to stop your application and return later. When you're ready, you will click Start to begin your application. The first thing you will be prompted to do is review your information for your primary household, such as your primary phone number, your contact preferences for that number. You will then click Next to progress through the primary household portion of the review. You will be prompted to review your home address. Click here if you've moved and need to update your address. You will be required at this point to upload a proof of residency. You will not be able to continue with the enrollment process without this information. Remember, all uploaded files will need to be in the PDF file format. The next section is where you will review information about the parents and guardians of your student. Click the Edit Review button to begin. Here you will need to review all areas that are marked with a red asterisk, including if a parent or guardian is no longer living at the residence listed. You will also need to confirm each parent or guardian's contact information and contact preferences. In the Impact Age section, you'll need to confirm whether this specific parent or guardian is a member of the military or employed on federal property. Please continue the review process for all other parents or guardians listed. Once you've reviewed all existing parents and guardians on the account, they will no longer be highlighted in yellow, but will have a green check mark indicating that you have successfully reviewed the information. You can add another parent or guardian at this time, or you can click Save and Continue to move on. Now you will need to review the emergency contacts and their contact information that you've listed for your students. You may also remove contacts at this point. Each contact must have at least one valid contact number listed. Once you've reviewed all your emergency contacts, they will no longer be highlighted in yellow, but will have a green check mark next to their name. You may also add new emergency contacts to your household account at this time. You'll now be prompted to review information about your student. Please carefully review all fields and answer all questions that have a red asterisk next to them. It's especially important for you to let us know if your student will be attending in person online, or a combination for the upcoming school year. In-person is traditional school, on-site in a classroom, not counting Moore Norman Tech Center or college concurrent courses. MVA online learning is reserved for students who do not come to a traditional school building but access all course material online. Supplemental enrollment is for students who attend school in the traditional building for at least one class period a day. This includes high school athletics or band. If choosing the MVA online learning option, please click on the Moore Virtual Academy Enrollment Guidelines link to view and sign the online learning contract. The following sections will cover information about custody, race and ethnicity, housing, and a home language survey. Please answer all questions to the best of your ability. In the relationship section, you will verify all relationship information and have the opportunity to choose the contact sequence or contact order you would prefer for each parent or guardian. If you do not see the options you're looking for in the drop-down menu, you may need to click Next and move on to the Other Emergency Contacts. Here you will be able to make adjustments and reorder the contact sequence. The next section asks your permission for health screenings. Then you will review questions about whether your child has any physical or medical conditions that the school needs to be aware of. If there are none, select No. Finally, we move on to the release agreements area. In this section, you need to read each statement carefully. You must determine if you would like to give permission for your student's work or image to be published to the internet, news, or other media sources. You will also need to answer a question about the use of non-test information for when your student takes the ACT. There's a link available where you can open the ACT non-test information page. Read through this page carefully. Once you're finished reading through it, you will need to go back to the release agreements page. Here, you will need to acknowledge that you give consent for your child to answer optional non-test questions or to participate in the Educational Opportunity Services for ACT. As we move further through this section, you'll also note that we provide a link to the Moore Public Schools Handbook. To view the handbook, click the link and it will open in a new tab that takes you to our district website. From here, you can select the MPS Student Handbook. Scroll through and read each section carefully. Once you're finished, please return to the Online Enrollment Registrations tab. You must acknowledge whether or not you read and understand the expectations and procedures in the handbook. It is now time to review all of the Moore Public Schools policy acknowledgments. When you click the link, it will open in a new tab. This will take you to our district website where you can view each one of these one at a time. Please review all 4 documents: the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, the Protection of Pupil Rights Amendment, our cell phone policy, and meningitis information. Once you've reviewed all 4, please return to the Online Registration tab where you will checkmark the boxes to confirm that you have read the policies and procedures. Answer the question about college and military recruitment information. The next section talks about the Technology Acceptable Use Policy. Click the link and take a moment to read through this carefully before you acknowledge that you've read the policy. You will now be prompted to review the Device Liability Agreement. Each student in grades 5 through 12 are issued a district device to be used at home and at school. You are agreeing to pay for any damage due to misuse, accidental care, handling, or neglect. You may purchase device protection plan insurance annually to mitigate these costs. This insurance can be purchased through our website using the link to My Payments Plus. You are also agreeing to return the device within 10 business days of end of enrollment or at the district's request. Now we're finished with the online registration process for this one student. You need to sign the box using the mouse, touchpad, or touchscreen of your device. Scroll down and click Save and Continue to proceed. You will repeat this process for all students. A green checkmark will indicate that the student review is complete. If you would like to add a new student, you may do so at this time by clicking on the Add New Student button. Once you've completed the registration process for all of your students, please click Save and Continue. Now that you've completed the online registration and enrollment process, you need to review your application prior to submitting. To review your data, click the Application Summary PDF link. It will open in a new window where you can review it carefully. If there's anything that needs to be corrected, you can select the Back button to go back and change any necessary information. Once you've confirmed that everything is correct, you may now click the Submit button. You'll be asked if you're sure that you want to submit. You will not be able to go back and make any changes after you submit. You must select the Confirm button to proceed. Once again, at this point, you can download the Application Summary PDF, save it, or print it for your records. You will also receive an email confirmation that your online registration has been completed. I hope this helps. Let us know if you have any questions.